Welcome back to Network Africa. Now, in Sudan's state of South Kordofan, the number of amputees as a result of the civil war is in the thousands, but few have access to sufficient medical help. Now, Adam Bills of the VOA recently visited the area and says a small team of Ugandan doctors has been providing remote help, producing new prosthetic limbs for those in need.
In Sudan's Nuba Mountains, civilians are trapped in the middle of a conflict. Government forces have staged thousands of aerial attacks since 2011. Mother of Mercy Hospital is the only fully functional medical facility in the Nuba Mountains. Wards are overcrowded. Beds line corridors, transforming them into makeshift wards. 9-year-old Robe Mohammed was injured in an aerial attack and lost his right leg. But today he is able to walk again. Just this morning he was given a new prosthetic leg, part of a program run by a team of Ugandan doctors. Rabe has already made drastic improvements, walking without the aid of a crutch for the first time in almost a year. Prosthetic technician Simon Peter says Rabe's parents were away when the bomb fell on his house.
So when these people released the bomb, they got him inside the house and it cut off the right leg.
Peter says most victims in the Nuba Mountains are middle-aged men.
35 to 40. And these are active people. I think they meet problems as they go to look for food for their families sometimes. You know, as a man, and most of them are men, they try to defend their families. As in a process of defending a family, they meet sometimes maybe gunshots or landmines or whatever.
When Rabe was injured, it took his parents hours to reach the hospital. Many people have to travel as far as 200 kilometers to receive treatment. This can take days and mean the difference between life and death. The project works to get help to those in the most remote areas. With no facilities to produce prosthetic limbs inside the region, doctors take a cast and limbs are produced outside the country. These are some of the limbs they have brought to fit patients who were measured last year. An estimated 50,000 people are disabled as a result of the conflict in Sudan. South Kordofan's Deputy Governor, Suleiman Jaban, says most of them were hurt in bombings.
Daily basis. Yeah, daily basis. If they're not bombing here, they're bombing in other areas. And we get a report. The Lami Mazalan is continuously bombing now. All these days bombing. Killing civilian, injured civilian, and burning their houses and burning their crops.
In South Kordofan, hundreds of children like Rabe are under constant threat from attacks. Hiding in caves with their families, many children have spent their whole lives living in war. For now, Rabe is going back to his village, far from the hospital, one of many to face a difficult future.
Now, Kenya recently played host to numerous refugees seeking safe haven from conflict. Immigrants from Somalia face new challenges in their new lives in Kenya. Ahead of International Migrants Day, Lenny Ruvaga from the VOA reports from the Kenyan capital.
22-year-old Ahmed Shakie runs a clothing business in Eastleigh, on the outskirts of the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. 4 years ago, he and two friends combined their resources to import clothes from Dubai and China and sell them at a profit. Their thriving enterprise draws in customers from all over the area. What's notable about their success is the fact that Shakie is a Somali refugee. He fled Mogadishu 7 years ago, but says he plans to return someday to rebuild his country.
Somalia,
there's fighting always. There are terrorists, and it isn't a peaceful place. It is not a place to live. Now that we are here in Kenya, we live and work here. When Somalia becomes peaceful, we will go back home.
Eastleigh, or small Mogadishu, is home to thousands of Somali migrants. Most who have attained legal status are either second or third generation Kenyan Somalis. Journalist Said Hassan fled the Hodan district in Somalia in 2006 at the height of the Al-Shabaab insurrection. Hassan worked at Horn Africa Radio, which was taken over by extremists. Today, Hassan works at Star FM, which is based in Isili. The radio station covers Kenya and parts of Somalia. He says he and other Somalis face similar challenges living in Kenya.
Number one is the ethnic profiling. Also, there is a lack of documentation. We have come here for so long, and we have a problem of getting the proper IDs in Kenya. And when we come across to the police, they ask us ID. Well, we don't have it.
2 weeks ago, the International Organization for Migration, or IOM, in collaboration with UNHCR, began the voluntary repatriation of 94 Somali refugees from Kenya. 23 years after conflict and famine drove them from their homeland. The process is supported by Somalia. Michael Pellinger, the Senior Operations Officer and Programs Coordinator, says the refugees are provided humane treatment.
Well, IOM, along with other partners such as UNHCR, the Government of Kenya and other organizations, assists, ensures that that refugees that are coming into Kenya have all the adequate services available to them in relation to their concerns or whether in transit, or whether they are for a given period of time allowed to stay in Kenya until their situation is resolved.
As the world marks International Migrants Day on December 18th, IOM is looking towards its post-2015 development plan to ease the poverty of the migrants in Kenya.
Coming up next on Network Africa, it's creativity at its finest. Please stay with us.
You see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. ChannelsTV.com. The news at your fingertips.
Welcome back. Now, for years, grey satellite dishes have been a part of Cairo's skyline. Now, one artist, that's Jason Stone King, with a collective called Cairo Dish Painting Initiative, decided to bring a bit of color to Cairo's grey skyline. Stone King, hailing from the United States, was surprised by the large amount of dishes on rooftops after he landed in Cairo in September 2014.
The idea to decorate dishes and rooftops was born during a conversation he had with Egyptian artist Hani Homos.
My second night in Cairo, I was with my friend Hani Homos, who's a local artist, and we were on his balcony, and I looked out over the skyline and I saw millions of satellite dishes, which was like a really miraculous sight for me because we don't have so many dishes in America. And I thought they represented a really beautiful metaphor, and Hani told me, no, they're really depressing, they're all brown and dusty and dirty, and I said, okay, let's do something about it. And that's where the idea came from.
The project was launched in cooperation with the Atelier Art Space as part of Stone King's arts residency in Egypt. First, he painted satellite dishes on the roof of the Atelier Art Space building in Ard El Lewa, an underdeveloped neighborhood in Cairo.
I think when I see places that aren't developed or places that could use a little help, I feel inspired because I think it's an opportunity. Like when I saw the dishes and my friend complained that they were all brown and dusty and looked the same, for me that was great because it meant opportunity. It meant that we had a chance to go in there and do something new and fresh, and that's always exciting for an artist.
Stone King hopes that his idea will catch on and spread across Cairo. A statement on the Cairo Dish Painting Initiative's Facebook page states the group's wish that the citizens of this vibrant city would help brighten their skyline and announce to the world that the signals of hope, happiness and free expression are the ones that they want to receive. Al Ismailia for Real Estate Investment, a company specializing in buying prime real estate in downtown Cairo for restoration purposes, discovered Stone King's attempt at filling the sky with candy and asked him to start painting downtown satellite dishes, to which he agreed. The idea of the project is to motivate residents of buildings to paint the dishes on their rooftops.
The satellite dishes shouldn't be painted by residents. They are supposed to be painted by experts like Jesse, who understands the idea. However, if the residents are eager, he can explain the process to them, and they will do it themselves.
Stone King is hoping for the initiative to kick off around Cairo to create the candy skylines he envisions.
Now, finally on the program, this next wannabe superhero shows that a little goes a very long way. Now, unlike the comic book superhero, Egypt's Spider-Man performs no extraordinary feats. He does daily chores like collecting his washing and navigating the busy streets of Cairo, which some say is a huge challenge in itself, given the city's overcrowded public transport and unruly traffic. That's something we can relate to right here in Nigeria.
Atef Sahad, who works as a chef but dons the superhero costume after work, says he wanted to highlight what Egyptians have to endure every day. Sahad and his photographer friend started the experiment after traveling in a jam-packed metro train recently.
The idea came to us when Hossam and I were thinking about how Egyptians struggle in their everyday lives. We decided to convey that idea in a funny way. We wanted to show that Egyptians are in fact superheroes for being able to cope with the country's harsh conditions that no normal person can live with.
Photographer Hossan Atef Farouk took his friend's pictures as he ran to catch a running bus, drove a tuk-tuk, and sat on a metal bars on the metro, things Egyptians often have to do in Cairo, where traffic is a huge concern. Photographs of Sahad in the costume have gone viral on the internet.
زي ما قلت لك اللي احنا كنا بنوضح الحاجات السلبية بطريقة كوميدية.
We were trying to show the negative aspects in a funny manner to reach people more quickly. We also wanted to show that the Egyptian people are superheroes by nature for bearing all this and are still happy. As Egyptian people, we have the ability to enjoy a lot. We enjoy it and are actually happy and are living our lives.
Sahad's adventure have been very popular with children who believe him to be the real deal. The pair now want to visit hospitals and schools to cheer children up. They too even had to struggle to find a costume, asking an acquaintance in the United States to buy it for them at the cost of $300.
And that's where we draw the curtains on this episode of Network Africa. Many thanks for watching. I'm Cynthia Are. As always, I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to send me an SMS via the number on your screen. Until next time, which is probably next year, stay blessed and proudly African. I'm Cynthia Are. Bye for now. Merry Christmas.